Hey Steppers! Welcome to English Step Fluent. This is a place where you learn English through simple stories, calm listening, and real-life lessons. You don't need to rush, and you don't need to understand every word. Just relax, listen carefully, and let your brain get used to the language naturally. Today's story is about English skills and why they matter so much in today's world. This is not a grammar lesson. This is not about tests, scores, or certificates. This is about life, opportunities, and the quiet moments when language decides what doors open and which ones stay closed. There was a young man who lived a very normal life. He worked hard, followed the rules, and tried to be responsible. Every morning, he woke up early, prepared himself, and went to work. His job was stable. His income was enough to survive. From the outside, everything looked fine. But inside, he often felt stuck, like his life was moving in circles. After work, he usually rested at home. He scrolled on his phone, watched videos, and read comments from people around the world. He saw people talking confidently, sharing ideas, teaching others, and working with international teams. Many of them came from different countries, but they all shared one thing in common. They could use English. At first, he didn't think much about it. He told himself that English was only important for people living abroad. He believed that as long as he could speak his native language, he would be fine. Learning English felt difficult, uncomfortable, and unnecessary. Avoiding it felt easier. But slowly, he began to notice something. Many useful articles, tutorials, and explanations were written in English. Many videos that could help him grow had no subtitles in his language. Sometimes translations were incomplete or confusing. Without realizing it, he was depending on others to translate the world for him. One day, something small but meaningful happened at work. The company started working with an international partner. The project itself was not difficult, but communication was important. The manager said they needed someone to handle simple English communication. Nothing perfect, just clear and polite English. When the manager asked who could help, the room became quiet. The young man felt nervous. He understood some English, but speaking made him uncomfortable. He was afraid of making mistakes. He was afraid of sounding stupid. So he stayed silent, even though part of him wanted to try. Another coworker raised their hand. That coworker was not perfect at English either, but they were brave enough to use it. Over time, that person gained more responsibility, more trust, and eventually a better position. The young man continued his routine, watching opportunities pass quietly. That night, he thought deeply about what happened. He realized that English itself was not the real problem. Fear was. Comfort was. Choosing safety over growth was. English had become a symbol of something larger. Change. In today's world, English is not just another subject to learn. It is a global tool. It connects people, ideas, and opportunities. Most of the information on the internet is available first in English. Many of the best jobs, especially remote jobs, require basic English communication. Many communities, discussions, and collaborations happen in English every day. When you don't understand English, your world becomes smaller. You see fewer opportunities, not because they don't exist, but because you cannot reach them. You depend on translations, summaries, and second-hand information. Over time, this limits how far you can grow. English matters because it gives you access. Access to knowledge. Access to people. Access to choices. It allows you to learn directly instead of waiting. It allows you to express yourself beyond borders. It allows your ideas to travel further than your location. Many people delay learning English because they believe they need to be perfect first. This belief is dangerous. It keeps people silent for years. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need a foreign accent. You don't need to speak fast. You only need to be willing to communicate and improve step by step. Every skill feels uncomfortable at the beginning. English is no exception. Making mistakes is part of learning. Even native speakers make mistakes. Progress comes from consistency, not perfection. The young man finally understood this. He stopped waiting for the perfect moment. He started small. He listened to English stories. He read simple texts. He practiced understanding before trying to speak. He focused on progress, not speed. Months passed. His English was still not perfect, but his confidence improved. When another opportunity appeared, he didn't feel ready. But this time, he didn't hide. He tried, and that decision changed how he saw himself. As the young man continued learning, he began to notice small but important changes. They were not dramatic, and no one around him celebrated them. But inside, something was different. When he watched videos, he no longer felt lost after the first few minutes. When he read articles, he understood the main idea without translating every sentence in his head. English slowly became less scary and more familiar. He also realized something unexpected. Learning English was not only about language. It trained his patience. It trained his focus. It taught him how to stay consistent even when progress felt slow. Some days he felt motivated. Other days he felt tired and doubted himself. But he continued, because now he understood that improvement does not always feel exciting. Sometimes he compared himself to others. He saw people who spoke English fluently and confidently. In the past, this comparison made him feel small. But now, he looked at them differently. Instead of feeling discouraged, he felt curious. He asked himself how long they had practiced, how many mistakes they had made, and how many days they wanted to quit but didn't. He noticed that English was slowly changing how he thought. He started thinking more clearly. He learned new ways to explain ideas. He discovered new perspectives from people in different cultures. His world no longer felt limited to one place or one way of thinking. Even his native language felt richer, because he became more aware of how communication really works. One important lesson became very clear to him. English does not replace who you are. It adds something to you. It does not erase your identity, your culture, or your roots. It simply gives you another tool to express yourself. A tool to connect. A tool to understand. A tool to be understood. He also understood that learning English is not about competing with others. It is a personal journey. Some people learn faster. Some people learn slower. But speed is not the goal. Continuity is. 10 minutes every day is more powerful than 1 hour once a week. Small effort, repeated daily, creates results that feel invisible at first and unstoppable later. Over time, English stopped feeling like a school subject. It became part of his daily life. He listened while walking. He read before sleeping. He practiced without pressure. He made mistakes and accepted them. The fear that once controlled him slowly lost its power. Many people believe that they will start learning English when life becomes easier. But life rarely becomes easier first. Growth often begins in the middle of difficulty. Waiting for the perfect moment is another way of staying comfortable. And comfort, when it lasts too long, quietly steals potential. English matters today not because everyone needs to move abroad, but because the world is connected. Ideas travel fast. Opportunities appear suddenly. When you are ready, you can respond. When you are not, the moment passes without asking. The young man realized that learning English was an act of respect toward his future self. It was a way of saying, I don't know exactly where I will go, but I want to be prepared. That mindset alone made him stronger, calmer, and more confident. Thank you for listening until the end. Learning English is not a race, and it is not a competition. It is a quiet process that grows through patience, repetition, and consistency. Every minute you spend listening, even when you feel tired or unsure, is helping your brain adapt little by little. Remember, you do not need to understand everything today. Progress happens naturally when you show up again and again. English is not here to pressure you. It is here to support you, to expand your world, and to give you more confidence in facing the future. If this story helped you, take a moment to breathe and reflect. Come back tomorrow and continue this journey step by step. Small progress, repeated daily, creates real change over time.